Hello everyone, this is the third episode in Mastering Git as a Software Engineer course, and in this video I'm gonna go through how to install Git in our machines. So let's get started. There are a lot of interesting things about Git, and one of the things that I really appreciate is the fact that it is so easy to install. There is no long list of prerequisites, all you need is a modern operating system. So to install, we have just to open a search engine and type download Git, for example. Download Git. So don't go further. The first link will be fine, which is gitscm.com. The website will detect automatically our operating system and will propose for us the correspondent binary. In my case, I will download it for macOs. When I click here, there is a lot of options to install Git. The first option is we can install it via Homebrew, which is macOS package manager. The second, we can install it using Mac ports. Apple ships also a binary package of Git with Xcode. Next, we can install it using the binary installer, and this is the option that we are using in this tutorial. And the last one is building from the source. We will download the source and build it in our machine. Git also provides a graphical user interface tool, which is a graphical user interface to commit, show history, and so other features. And we can also install it using Brew. So let's start the install process using the binary installer. For me, it's already installed, but I will reinstall it with you again. We will check the installed version before. So to do that, we will open a terminal and we will type git -- version command. So in your case, it will show an error telling us that Git tool is not already installed. But for me, I am getting my installed version, which is 2.33.0. So to install, we have we will use the binary installer. So we can download it from here. Here the last stable version. And if we want to install the latest version, here is the latest version, which is 2.33.0. For me, I will reinstall the latest stable version, and we will be redirected to SourceForge website. And then we will click the download button. Our download will start shortly. We will just wait. And once we finish it, we have the DMG file, which is the package to install our Git version. So the version that we will install is 2.15.0. So we double click to the pkg file, and then we will try to do the wizard. Here the second step is to try to select the hard drive disk. So for me, I will try to use the default one, and then I will just type my password to install the Git 2.15.0 version. Once finished, the installer will propose us to move the DMG file to the bin to clean our computer. And now if we retype the same command, git version, we will get the new git installed version. So at this step, we finished the install process in macOs. To install on other platforms, we have just to click here for Windows or here for Linux. We'll start by Windows. When we click here, we are redirected to how to install Git for Windows. So we have, first of all, standalone installer. We have two 32 bits and 64 bits Windows setup. And we have the portable version, and we can install it also using winget command. And for Linux, according to Linux distribution, we have the correspondent commands. For example, for Debian and Ubuntu, we can install it using apt-get. For Fedora, we can install it with tool if we are up to Fedora 21, and Fedora 22 and later we can install it using the dnf command. And we have all the documentation about other distribution. Once we've finished the install process, now we will try to understand config git file and how to configure it in our machine. So git config file stores settings for how Git operates. The configuration can be applied in 3 different levels. First, the system-wide, which is stored in /etc/gitconfig file. We have also a user-specific level, which is stored in .gitconfig file, which is located in the folder of our user. And the third one is local, to a particular project, and the file will be stored, and the file is config and will be stored in the .git folder of the repository. They allow you to customize various aspects of Git's behavior, like username and email for commits, defining aliases for frequently used commands, set up preferred editor for working with Git, and for example, set up a proxy when we are behind a corporate proxy. Now I will show you some git config commands. The first command, git config --list, and this command will show us all the properties saved in all configuration files. The second command, git config --global user.email, and this config will define the mentioned email as git email for commits. The next command, git config --global user.name, Hamdi for example. It will define Hamdi as a username for global git commits. Git config --global core.editor vim. This command will define vim as a default editor for Git. And the last command, git config --global alias.ci commit, and this will define an alias called ci to git commit command. So we can either type git commit or git ci. Now we will try to do a small demo about git config commands. So let's start by git config --list. We said that this command will list for us all properties saved in all config files. So we have aliases, we have include path, we have diff, we have user.email and user.name. For example, if we want to filter just global, so we have to add -- global flag. So when we filter this, we have just 2 properties which are defined globally. So now I want to change the email. So to change the email, we will type git config. The scope is globally, and the property name is user dot email, and we will type the new email, for example hammadi@gmail.com, for example. And I will change also the user.name. For example, I will use hamdi.hamidi. And now if I re-execute the same command, so the two properties has changed. Now we have arrived at the end of this episode. I hope that it was clear. In the next episode, we will try to create our first repository and we will do our first commit. Please leave me a review in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.